What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over ranking our top 10 offensive linemen right now in college football 25 Ultimate Team. Now, I want to start off by saying this. A lot of it with the offensive linemen is finding guys that fit your specific scheme. Like for me, I run the spread chemistry, and so I like Christian Darrisaw more than a lot of other people. So, as we start this list, Christian Darrisaw is going to be our number 10, but he is currently in my squad because, again, he fits that spread chemistry. With this card, get a pretty balanced offensive tackle, decent run blocker, decent pass blocker, 96 strength, solid change of direction. Just does a lot of things well. Again, obviously with that spread chemistry, going to just be a little bit better for me than the average person as well. 159,000 coins for Darrisaw isn't super expensive. You know, it's not super cheap, but not super expensive. A lot of these offensive linemen, a lot of these offensive tackles, everybody that's going to be featured here in the top 10, whether you rank them at number 10, whether you rank them at number 1, a lot of these cards are going to be preference-based, but for me, Darrisaw comes in at number 10. Up next here at my number 9, we're going to plug in Jarrett Wilson, the center from Georgia. Good run blocker, better pass blocker, good strength at a 96. Does fit that run and shoot scheme. That's not what I run. So again, do I run Jarrett Wilson? No. But if you do run that run and shoot scheme, he boosts it ×2, which is a big time deal. So again, it's all kind of preference based at this stage. If you need a center, better pass blocker than run blocker, Jarrett Wilson can definitely hold it down at that center position. Price right now is decently expensive. You know, 340,000 coins for this card I think is slightly overpriced. But again, you get what you pay for if you do run that run and shoot type chemistry. To me though, at the center position, I prefer Cooper Mays. That's my personal preference, especially if you like to throw the football. Big thing here is, if you like to run the football, Cooper Mays is not for you. He's just not. And so, you know, that's something that I do think is important to talk about, is the pass blocking compared to run blocking. For me, I like more balanced offensive linemen, and that's just kind of my personal preference. However, a lot of people do like guys that can pass protect more than run block because they throw the football 90% of the time, does fit that air raid chemistry. And, you know, for me, for 277,000 coins, I'd have to look at my list. I don't think he's the best center, but I think he's one of the top centers in the game right now. At my number 7, we're plugging in, Slappy here from Marshall, left guard. And I love this card. 98 strength. That's where I want to start today. The 98 strength on this card is ridiculously good. Great run blocker. Good pass blocker. The problem with Slappy is he is 500,000 coins. I mean, left guard with 98 strength. Are you serious? Good run blocker. Great pass blocker. I mean, maybe Slappy should be top 5 on my list, because when I'm looking at it, I'm like, my goodness, this card is an absolute stud. That 98 strength. Great run blocker. Good pass blocker. Again, I don't run the air raid chemistry, but if you do, we boost that scheme ×2, which is a big time deal. I love the strength. If you have 98 strength for a guard, I'm telling you, I am going to like the card quite a bit. For Slappy, he is an absolute beast, an absolute stud on the field. Coming in at my number 6, plugging in Dylan Fairchild, another left guard. And Fairchild compared to Slappy, I think it's tough because, again, a lot of people like pass blockers more than run blockers. And so Fairchild is exactly that. Pass blocking stats off the charts good. 96 strength is solid. And so, you know, him compared to Slappy, honestly, if you like to run the ball, Slappy's definitely better. If you like to pass the ball primarily, Fairchild is your guy. For me, I like to run the ball just as much as I like to throw the ball. So, I mean, I'd probably prefer Slappy, but I'm telling you, the majority of you guys watching this video probably throw the football more than you run it. And so that's where Fairchild is really a beast. And you'll see me pretty high on a lot of these stars of the season cards because a lot of them just have a really good stats, especially, you know, pass blocking specific for Fairchild, which the card is definitely going to get after. Next up at my number 5, plugging in Membou, a card that's been out a while, season 4 card, good strength, 95, isn't the best, but it's solid. Great pass blocker, though. Again, you know, when you're looking at some of the best pass blockers in the game, he's a right tackle with a 97 pass block rating. Just incredible. I ran this card for quite a while. He just doesn't fit my scheme anymore. I actually don't know if he's currently on my squad or not. But again, at the right tackle position, he is an absolute beast of a card. Good pass blocker, better pass blocker than run blocker, like most of the offensive linemen are. But Membou is definitely a stud if you like to throw the football. Next up at our number 4, we're going to plug in Willie Lampkin, right guard here with 96 strength. Great pass blocker, but great run blocker. And so here's where we see our really big differential, right? So far we've seen a lot of cards that, you know, are one or the other. Good pass blockers, good run blockers. For Lampkin, he's got 96 run blocking, 97 pass blocking with 96 strength. Air raid chemistry, or air raid scheme, I should say. I just see no flaws with Lampkin. Now, is he worth his price? That's a different story. 380,000 coins is ridiculous, but I will say Willie Lampkin is a beast on this game. I mean, he's an absolute beast. Am I going to run the card? I don't necessarily know if I'll ever run it because he doesn't fit my scheme, but Willie Lampkin is a stud. Just as good as a run blocker. Not quite as good, but nearly just as good at run blocker as he is a pass blocker. Lampkin, one of the most complete offensive linemen in the game. At my number 3, Kelvin Banks Jr. 96 strength, 99 pass blocking with 94 run blocking. And so here's the big deal. At the left tackle position, if you need a pass blocker, it does not get better than Kelvin Banks Jr. It doesn't. I mean, 96 strength. With that good of a pass blocking rating, it's tough for me not to love the card. Meanwhile, his run blocking stats are fine, right? A lot of guys like Fairchild have the 90-91 run blocking where it's not great. With Kelvin Banks Jr., his run blocking is really solid as well. Now, veer and shoot scheme, it's not what I run, so that's a lot of the reason I'm not super high on him. Does have high motor as well, which again does matter. The high motor player trait does matter. So another reason I'm really high on Kelvin Banks Jr. Overall, stat-wise good, trait-wise really solid for the card. At my number 2, Josh Connerly Jr. No high motor for the card, right tackle, but he's got a 99 pass block rating with 96 strength. Meanwhile, he fits the Oregon team chemistry, which a lot of people are already running. Great pass blocker, can run block a little bit, kind of similar to a guy like Banks. I do think Connerly Jr., works in people's teams a lot more because, again, a lot of people run the Oregon team chem. I guess, a lot of people do run that Texas team chem as well, so I shouldn't just sit up here and act like Kelvin Banks Jr. isn't just as good because the card truly is probably just as good as Connerly. But for me, I'd run Josh Connerly Jr. first just because he does fit that Oregon team chem. But him and Banks are honestly two of the same. Basically the same card for you guys on the field. At my number 1, by a wide margin, we've got Seth McLaughlin. 99 strength center, pro style scheme, 95 run blocking. It says 94 pass blocking, but look at these stats. 95, 96 run blocking, pass blocking stats with 99 strength. There is no better offensive lineman in the entire game than Seth McLaughlin. The difference between him and the next best center, I think, is massive because that 99 strength rating is crazy, guys. That strength rating is crazy. His blocking stats are fantastic. A lot of people do run the pro style, scheme as well. And so from top to bottom, give me Seth McLaughlin over every other offensive lineman that we've gone over and covered so far. I do think he is the best and most complete center in the game. Now, at the core of everything I talked about in this video, a lot of it is preference-based. I'm not running hardly any of these cards. Why? It's because I run this spread scheme. So I try to get guys that fit that spread chemistry, the spread scheme, and there's really not a lot. Like Christian Darrisaw absolutely is. But outside of that, again, there's not a lot. I run Connor Colby. I actually am running Hufford right now at my left guard position. So I'm running a lot of guys that fit my scheme. However, they're not the best offensive linemen in the entire game. So it really comes down to what scheme you run and what you're trying to get at. If you like pass blockers, if you like run blockers more, definitely does play a part as well. But that's going to wrap it up for our video. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.